here we are once again, the last live session bonus of the Quarterly Cord Bootcamp Fall 2025. If you're watching this after the fact, which you might very well be, it is a Sunday night, and so I understand you're probably chilling watching football. But I promised I'd go live today, so here I am. I fulfill my promises. For everybody that's already joined the All Access Pass over the last week, congratulations. I'm going to have to take a bit of a breather this week, but I'm going to be in the community answering all your questions and giving feedback, so make sure you post. Congratulations on joining. I really want you guys to, hey, what's going on? I really want you guys to get the most out of it as possible. And, yeah, so I couldn't express more gratitude towards everybody that has already joined. It's going to be a great, great time, and it's just going to continue to get better because I am super, super dedicated to my online guitar academy. Even more so now than ever before. Thanks, Sandy, for tuning in and being a big fan. It was a crazy, exhausting couple of weeks, but here we are finishing it up. I'm going to kind of talk a bit about, and John, what's going on? So, but yeah, so once again, thank you guys for everybody who joined. I am going to be closing down enrollment tonight. Now, I'm a one-man show. I don't have a whole team. So if magically, I'm literally shutting it down. If there ends up being a link that stays open, then you might look out and be able to get in Monday, tomorrow, the 22nd. But all those links are going to get changed just to waitlist between now and the next 24, 48 hours. So you might be able to sneak in, but probably not, because as soon as I get up in the morning, I'm going to start taking all that stuff down. I was going to do it tonight, but I'm just tired. So you might be able to sneak in still if you want. But the All Access Pass, the boot camp and everything has been a great week. I was sick through some of it, but it ended up turning out okay, and it was a lot of fun. I think people got a lot out of it. And I'm here to do one more little bonus session for the boot camp and to just answer any questions you might have if you had any, and to kind of shut the doors on this boot camp until 2026. So I can dedicate as much time as possible to the people that joined the community over the last week. So it's been super exciting to see all the people get in there and have a good time. So, yeah, I think there's some great folks that have gotten in there so far. Sandy's right. Shizzle Sticks is in the house. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I talked about last night. Because no one was in there. I did a live on Facebook because my wife was like, you need to go live on Facebook. Or you need to go live. And I was like, I don't have the energy. She's like, do it. And I was like, I'll go live on Facebook. Turns out nobody watches a Facebook Live. So I'm going to talk about some ways you can stay motivated today. All right. So if you're watching this, first of all, if you're watching this later or you're watching it now, I will drop in a couple of little links here. The replays are going to get taken down as well, but you can probably be sneaky and steal those replays if you want to get them for free. If you know what you're doing on the internet, there's the replays. I'm not going to be mad about it. And then here is the link to sign up before the doors close. All right, so that's the sign up link right there. So get in there, and yeah, it's going to be great. So anyways, so there you go. So now let's talk about some ways to stay motivated, because I need it as much as you guys need it, right? It's hard to stay motivated, especially if you got a busy life, business, kids, work. Even when you're retired, my parents are retired. It seems like they're busier now than they were when they were working. I feel like Sandy might be. Sandy, I know, is retired, and she's all over the world. So she seems to be busy as well. So while I'm going through these motivational ideas to kind of keep you help you keep motivated for practice, it's hard for me to get on a live and not have a guitar in my hand. One thing that will be coming is big time application of Caged, and another thing that's going to be coming is some fingerstyle courses. But there are some workshops that I've already done that are going to get loaded shortly. A phrasing workshop, which Sandy, I know you'll like and everybody will enjoy. What was the other one that I just did? 30 for the guitar. I don't know what that means. You have at least 30 for the guitar. I'm not sure what that means. But anyways, Oh, New York. Okay. So there's been I'm at a loss right now, but there's some boot or not boot camps, but there's some workshops that are gonna get loaded that you're gonna really get a lot out of. I have another ebook too, that kind of is gonna be good. It's gonna, like I said, there'll be a a phrasing workshop. There's going to be another home recording workshop, and then there's going to be a workshop on intervals, which sounds super boring because it kind of is, but you got to train your ear. All right, we have to be able to train our ears. That's a big thing that I'm seeing is missing. I know that some people have some ear training workshops and stuff online, or some courses like Rick Beato and stuff. But I'm gonna put my own stamp on it. Okay, so that's gonna be good too. So we're also gonna do a pedal workshop as well. So I dropped a guitar pick. So give me 1 second. I got another one here. Phrasing is gonna be good. So let's talk about ways you can stay motivated for guitar practice. All right. I wrote up a list of these and I kind of broke it down to common, four of them that I feel like are pretty common, that I think are helpful. And I need these too because we forget why we picked up the guitar in the first place, especially when you get to the point when you're kind of stuck, or when not necessarily stuck, but just looking to get to that next level. One is we want to look for many wins every single day in our practice. All right. So this is the first thing. Instead of aiming to master everything, set a small daily or weekly win. It could be nailing a little piece of a lick, maybe not even the whole lick, getting it just a little cleaner, right? Connecting two cage shapes with pentatonics, right? Or just even adding vibrato and making it sound better than maybe it did the day before. We got to go for small wins. We're looking for small wins. We're not looking for, and I used to be guilty of this, mastering the entire fretboard in a week, right? You're never going to master cage or triads in a week. This takes months, if not years, to get down. So we have to be able to break it down to small wins, okay? And here's the other thing: you want to write it down, catalog your practice, and we're gonna do something on this as well, okay? So you're gonna write it down, and you want to practice it, all right? I'm working on a new practice log page that is gonna be cool, so that you can kind of keep track of everything you're working on. First thing, mini wins. Two, and this one is huge, especially for people that are kind of ready to solo and just jam and use your ear. Play along with music that you love. This is something I forgot to do for a long time, and I'll tell you a story. When I was playing guitar and learning how to play guitar when I was in high school, maybe my junior or senior year, I was getting pretty good at moving the pentatonic around in a couple of spots. I wasn't great at it, but I was getting good enough. You don't want to just run scales. You want to jam along with your favorite songs sometimes. Backing tracks are everywhere, but sometimes you just want to play along with a song that you like, right? So I did this with the Led Zeppelin BBC sessions for hours, because it's almost all blues, all right? It's all pentatonic, minor pentatonic based. So you could just use your ear, figure out what key you're in, and just jam over it. Jam over the singing, jam over the solo. And what happens is, even though that's not technically what you should do, when it comes to playing live, you're not playing live. You're jamming with a great band that's your backing track. In this case, I was using like Led Zeppelin, or I used to use a lot of Eric Clapton stuff. And when you do this, you kind of end up stealing some phrasing and stuff like that, right? You end up stealing a little bit of, you might be playing the pentatonic in the same key and accidentally do something that Jimmy Page or Eric Clapton did, and you're like, oh, I kind of figured out one of his licks. And it forces you to use your ear. And by playing along with songs you like, you might be doing it longer than you might have otherwise, right? A backing track can get kind of stale because there's no singing in it. It's more exciting to play along with a song with their singing, right? So if you can play along with a song and there's singing in it, and it's something that gets you excited and that you are passionate about, and a song that you've loved forever, that is a key way to stay motivated when you practice, all right? It kind of reminds you of why you picked up the guitar in the first place. I'll tell you why I picked up the guitar in the first place. I just had a neighbor whose older brother got a cheap, crappy electric guitar set up, and he put it over my shoulder and cranked it up loud and showed me how to play one chord. I feel like it was just an E pentatonic, E chord, an E power chord. And he turned the distortion up loud, and I strummed it once, and it reverberated through the dang garage so loud. And I was like, yep, I need one of these. So I went home, and my mom happened to have an old acoustic, and that started my journey. And then all I wanted to do was learn songs I knew, right? So you want to be able to play along with songs you like, songs you know, and work on songs that you like and songs that you're familiar with, because that's another way you can stay motivated. Playing music that you enjoy listening to, playing along with music you enjoy listening to, playing pentatonics and figuring out what key you're in just by kind of moving it around and experimenting, hitting a million wrong notes until you figure out what key you're in. That's developing your ear, which is just as important and probably way more important than learning theory. But once you can develop your ear, right? Right, that makes sense, Robert. Once you develop your ear, then all of a sudden, and you put a little theory behind it, you're unstoppable on the guitar, right? I think I developed my ear first. So that's one big thing that you can do by learning songs by ear and playing along with music that you really enjoy, right? We're borrowing licks as opposed to stealing them, right? It's not really, it's the language of music. Robert makes a good point. So, that's number 2. 1, many wins every day. Log your practice, log your wins. 2, play along with music you love. All right, and then the third one is track your progress visually and in an audio format. Record yourself playing once or twice a week. I do this all the time in my community, and I'm encouraging people to post as many videos as they possibly can, even if it's 18 seconds of a video of something that you happen to play, right? Post videos, record yourself on your voice notes if you're afraid to post the video. But this is one way I keep people accountable within the All Access Pass in my guitar program, is by encouraging people to post. And if you're afraid to do that and you're not in the program, you can still record yourself, go back and listen to it that same day, and then go back and listen to it a few days later. Then do it every week, if not once a week, 2 or 3 times a week. And you do this for 2 or 3 months, and you have a catalog. You can go back and you can listen to what sounded good, what didn't sound good. Immediately, what didn't sound good, you can start to dissect on what you should work on, right? And it's really hard to kind of critique or self-critique your skill set when you're playing it in the moment, right? If I'm playing in the moment and I'm going, I can sit here and be like, God, I suck today. Right? And you're like, man, I'm playing horrible. But if you're recording it, $100 says you go back and you listen to it, you're going to find some pieces that will surprise you, and you'll think, oh, that actually did not sound half bad. And that will help keep you motivated and keep you moving forward, all right? Listen back the same day, and then listen to it again in a few days or in a week later or 2 weeks later, right? You want to be able to have a catalog of your growth written down or in a spreadsheet, and then as well, even more important, I think, audio recordings, video recordings, and accountability. And that brings me to my fourth and final point. And like I said, these doors are 100% closing until 2026. So if you're not in, now is the time to get in. Final point, and this is probably one of the more important ones, is find accountability. Someone you can play with, jam with. A community like my All Access Pass membership and my Guitar Academy. It's all one thing, right? This is massive accountability because you've got other people in there, and you've got me pushing you to complete challenges, work on new material, post videos, get feedback from myself and from others within the community, right? You can do this as well just by jamming with people. If you have someone that you play with, don't jam with them every couple of months. Set a time where you're every 2 or 3 weeks or once a month making a point to get together on a Wednesday night or a Saturday early afternoon or something and play some music, even if it's for an hour or two, And that will keep you accountable as well. It's like having a workout partner, and that's what the All Access Pass is. It's like having a workout partner that you have to show up for, right? If you say you're going to meet someone at the gym or at the golf course or wherever you hang out, you want to show up because you're like, oh, Sandy's going to meet me there. If I don't show up, I'm letting someone else down, right? That is accountability, and that's what you get with my All Access Pass guitar program. And then what else was I going to say? Yeah, that's really it. Weekly clips. You got to commit to never fall off, right? You want to check in is at least 3 to 5 times a week. Continue playing, continue recording yourself, and you need the external accountability because that is the motivational boost that you really need to keep growing on the guitar. Without that, you're lost and you're just going to bounce from video to video. That's why a program like mine will keep you accountable. You'll get the live sessions with me. You'll get the boot camps will come, but like that's for 2026. That was hard. That was a lot of work. But then you're also going to get like you got to have the accountability. Someone that's going to be there for you, ready to listen, ready to answer questions. Okay, and everyone gets their questions answered, right? A couple live sessions a month, and then every other Friday there's a live session where it's a get together where you can kind of show and tell, and it's like an open mic or just sit and ask questions and talk about guitar. That's what people need. You need a community of musicians that you can bounce ideas off of because it keeps you accountable, right? And you make great friends all over the world in this case. So let's recap what we're talking about here. So one, mini wins every day or every week. It could be something small. Write it down because progress is really addictive, right? Play along with music you love. Don't just run scales. Jam with your favorite songs. Start to figure out what keys they're in by playing wrong notes until you get to the right notes using pentatonics. It reminds you of why you picked up the guitar in the first place, at least for me, right? 3, track your progress visually on a notepad or on a spreadsheet and in an audio and video format, posting videos of yourself, keeping videos of yourself, and recordings, audio recordings on your voice notes app on your phone. You don't have to have a whole setup like this, like I've got. You just need something that where you can record yourself so you can go back and listen from third person point of view, right? Yes, it is. It is very much nice, Sandy. And then the last one is accountability, and accountability is what you need to get to really grow as a guitar player. So that's what I've got. With that being said, I hope you find that helpful if you're watching this now or watching it later. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody that joined the boot camp and that has supported me over the last month and the last couple of years for Sandy and some people that have already been in there for a long time. I want you guys to get in. If you haven't gotten in yet, the link is up there. I'll post it again right now. But yeah, that's the big reveal, man. You got to have motivation, and that's what's going to happen for you when you join my All Access Pass program. And it's just a good group of people. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And hopefully you got something amazing transformation out of the last couple of weeks. And we want to keep that momentum going. So with that being said, make sure you get in there. Watch this now, watch this later. Get what you can out of it before those recordings kind of drop off and before those doors close. Like I said, you might be able to sneak in tomorrow because I got links literally all over the internet. So I got to figure out where they're all at again and take them all down and change it to wait list. So appreciate you guys being here. Get in that program while it's open right now, and then I will see you soon. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you being here. It's been a pleasure. Sandy, I'm glad you're having a great time playing guitar. You guys have a great day. Wait, no, I'm back actually. Let's just come back. If anybody has any questions, let's have them. I'm here. I almost stopped streaming for a second, but I was like, if you have a question, I got a couple minutes before my 0-2 Chiefs play. No, I'm not a bandwagon fan. I grew up 15 minutes from the stadium. Now we got a question. This is perfect. I almost got off because I'm tired, but check it. Okay. I hold on. I'll show you what pick I use. Hold on. Let me see if I can find him. I forget what they are. Oh, I'll just look it up real quick and share screen with you. Oh, I use thick ones. I hand my pick to people sometimes, and they can't handle it. They don't like them. So look, I'll share screen with you. These are the ones I like. Dunlop 1.14. You can see there's like a little white powder substance looking thing on there. It comes actually as a little film that's on there. It kind of helps the pick stick to your fingers. I don't have one here with me right now, but that's exactly what I use. But these Gator Grip picks are awesome, even if you don't like that thick of one. You can get other ones, of course, right? You could get that's too thick. 2.0, that's too thick. So like, you could get lighter ones of that same model of pick, if you want to call it that. These are the Dunlop Gator Grips. Those are my favorite. Any other questions? could be about this, anything guitar, or it could be related to the guitar. 7.4, 0.74. Those are nice. Strings on my strats, I use tens. I was using 11s on my Gibson shorter scales, but I put tens on those as well. I think of my Les Paul has some John Mayer version of strings that a student gave me, and they're in between tens and 11s. The 11s were great when I was playing gigs 5 nights a week, but my fingers don't like the 11s right now. So I've got tens on everything except for the Les Paul has some hybrid model between 10 and 11. Let me see. I can show you what those are. But I use the kind of strings I use are D'Addario. I feel like their shelf life isn't as long as some other strings, but I don't know what this website is, but these are the ones I use. I'll show you real quick. Oh, we got to add here, of course. That 10s to 46. I've used these 11s wherever they're at somewhere. These before, but they're a little too thick for what I'm doing right now. These are the ones that someone let me have a set of. They're in between the two. They're kind of cool. I think I'm just going to go to 10s instead of 10.5. This is like I said, in between 10 and 11s. Yeah. I mean, you got to use the strings you like. I feel like the D'Addarios just ring out. I'm not a huge Ernie Ball fan. They feel a little stiffer to me. I always found the D'Addarios to be a little bit more, I want to say slinky, but that's what those are. But yeah, that's what I'm using. Oh, you use D'Addarios, John, as well? So that's what's happening, y'all. Any other questions while we're on this live session of the last live session of the boot camp? You got to be really willing when you get an all access pass to really give it a couple of months so that you really know that and you got to be willing to put in the work as well. If you join and think you're just going to get better by joining and you look around and you're like, I'm not going to get good from working on this stuff, then you already have a bad attitude. You have to be willing to really work through the material and give it a college try. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Pillar 1 and Pillar 1 there it explains the first module. Is there a section that explains the first? Yeah, it's in there. I think all of it explains it with when you're in there. I can show you real quick. I would just watch it from the beginning, John, if you're already in there. Just a sneak peek for people. You want this right here. This is what you need. Yeah. Are you already in there, John? You might already be in there. I don't know. I got to go look and see. It's been a long week. I think you're in there. I'll look you up and see. Oh, I can't tell. There's a lot of Johns in my email list. But yeah, it explains everything. It's all in there, John. I would say if you're on the fence, if you're already in there, great. If you're not, then you started. Good, perfect. I was like, I'll just look up John in my email list. There's 212 Johns. Yeah, you just want to start right from the beginning. I might go through and just kind of break it down for people in a bit of a different way as well. Oh, during the yeah, we'll talk about that. I can bring that up in a live session sometime, and I'll talk about that, John. No problem. I would, if I were you, I would focus on the sharps first. The flats are a little bit of a stump. There's a bit of a stump factor on the flats. I'll give you that. Man, there's a lot of Johns in the world here. All right. I don't know if there's no other questions. I'm gonna go watch some football, and I'll plan on seeing everybody that's already joined in the live sessions. There'll be a open mic this Friday at 2 p.m. Central Time. If you can't make it, you'll be able to see the recording in the community. All right, y'all. I think that's it, man. I think we're gonna have to call it good. You guys have a great night. I'll see you in the community. If you haven't joined